Real Madrid's summer calm looks suspiciously like a storm front gathering. And at the centre of it is Vinícius Jr., a player who went from academy hopeful to global superstar, and whose next move could rewrite the club's immediate future. For months, the renewal files have been on a slow burner. Talks have been paused, demands and offers traded in public reports, and a date on the calendar, 2026, quietly turning into a decision point that nobody at the Bernabeu could afford to ignore. According to recent reporting, negotiations have stalled because the two sides remain apart on wages and structure, leaving a window where outside suitors can pounce. What that means in practical terms is simple. If a top buyer smells hesitation, they can make an offer that forces Madrid's hand. Sell now and cash in, or risk losing your talisman or being pressured into a fire sale. The drama is not hypothetical. Stories of mega offers circling Vinicius have not just come from whispers. International outlets have linked Paris Saint-Germain to aggressive plans to lure him with both huge wages and the promise of being the absolute face of the attack, a starring role that, for some players, outweighs even club loyalty. Add to that continued market interest from wealthy buyers in the region and Europe, and you have a storm that turns on timing and leverage. Behind the headlines, there are three things to watch. First, the calendar and the contract. Multiple reports make it clear talks are on pause and that the next year is crucial. Without a new signed agreement, the club's negotiating strength weakens as time runs down. That creates a tactical danger. A club like PSG or a deep-pocketed Saudi outfit can sit and wait, then offer a deal that tests Madrid's appetite to hold firm. Second, the numbers. Reports suggest Vinícius. Kemp are asking for a salary and bonus structure that significantly upgrades his current terms, while Madrid have so far proposed a more conservative raise. Those gaps are where leverage is made or lost, and how Florentino Perez resolves them will say a lot about whether he intends to keep the Brazilian long-term or cash in while the market is hot. Good. Optics and role. A player who's promised a starring project, guaranteed leadership in attack and media prominence, is easier to sell on the idea of a move than on money alone. Paris can offer that narrative. Madrid must decide whether to recenter the squad around Vinícius or to reallocate resources in a changing dressing room. BIN Sports noted movement by the players' representatives around the club's training ground in recent days. A small but telling sign that contract discussions are still part of the picture, even if official announcements are quiet. For the club, the calculus is brutal. Match demands that set a new internal wage ceiling and risk unsettling squad balance. Or hold firm and possibly watch a saga drag into the season. Some outlets report Madrid has given a clear internal deadline: renew or be sold by a fixed point, which would be a blunt instrument to resolve uncertainty and avoid prolonged legal and sporting limbo. That's the kind of borderline ultimatum that forces clarity, but can also be read as a sign the club thinks the market is strong enough to replace the asset if needed. Whichever route they pick will ripple beyond the 11 on the pitch. Merchandising, sponsorship negotiations, and the message to academy players all shift if a homegrown icon moves on. So what happens next? And what should fans watch for? First, any public movement. Agent visits, cryptic social posts, or quick statements from the club or player. Those are often the prelude to serious talks. Second, the money. If a formal bid surfaces from PSG or elsewhere that approaches world record territory, Madrid will be under pressure to choose immediately. Third, timing. Many outlets say negotiations might realistically resume in the 2026 window, when both parties can sit without short-term market chaos. That means the next year is likely to be full of positioning, not necessarily closure. For now, the story is equal parts numbers, pride, and timing. And that combination is what makes this not just a transfer rumour, but potentially a turning point for Real Madrid and for Vinícius himself. Keep your eyes on the deadlines, the numbers, and the next public moves, because one way or another, this saga will tell us how modern football balances loyalty, commerce, and the superstar market.